Hey everybody, it's me, Jim Boski.
And me, Greg.
Cool, and we are here to talk about a really cool old toy called Astro Command, an old electronic game that was sold at RadioShack a long time ago. And I had this toy growing up and was able to acquire it years later because it wound up in a landfill, I think. At any rate, we did a short on this that proved to be really popular, and we thought we'd just show off this cool collectible. So here it is. Foolishly, Greg, I purchased this with the promise that it was working, but I have not yet turned it on. So this is going to be a moment of truth for
Dun dun
dun dun
dun.
dun. Yeah, but I got 4C batteries, believe it or not, loaded into this thing. It made it quite heavy. Actually, it weighs I don't know, maybe a few pounds. And here we go. I'm going to turn it on. Oh my god. And there it is. Cool. The game
Look at
itself,
those graphics.
look at those graphics, right? That's a better angle, right? The game itself is kind of, if I had to describe it, almost like a clone, if you will, of a Defender, like a side scroller. It's in demo mode right now, but you're the ship, on the side of the screen, firing a laser, and there's all these obstacles and stuff. But here, let me start it up here, if I can. Let's see, select. It's got a mode, and start. And there it goes. And already got killed.
Wow,
You can see how well I can
he
play the
got
game.
far.
Oh, kind of difficult to do backwards, but I'll try and manage. Oh, lasers.
Yeah, I don't think it's working.
I don't think it's working, but this is just from this era of companies, turning around products to bring, the video arcade experience into the home, you know. And there's so many examples of these great like tabletop. Oh, what a cool little end song there. Tabletop Donkey Kong, which I definitely am trying to acquire. Earlier games like the Tiger Electronics handheld games. I think you've had a few of those, right?
I had a lot of the sports games.
Yeah, those are super
I guess
cool.
by Coleco,
Right, Coleco, the
Coleco
Connecticut Leather
football.
Company that branched into swimming pools and video games, unusually produced the ColecoVision. But yeah, there were just so many great examples of these. Even like really, like Simon, which is kind of a basic game, but was really a lot of fun to play. One of my favorites that I'm looking for right now, Merlin. Do you ever have that?
Merlin was a good one too. I think I still have it.
You still have a Merlin?
I'll have
Oh,
to
well,
send it to you if I find it.
yeah, we'll have to do a whole episode on Merlin. But Radio Shack, is Radio Shack Tandy Electronics?
I could not tell you.
I think so.
I think I'm gonna have a seizure from the screen though.
Yeah, don't please
These
don't have a
lights.
medical emergency. But we got a lot of attention to the short that we published on this, and I'm really looking for comments from our audience on, did you ever have this game? Are you aware of it? What were some other cool, tabletop home video games that mimicked, the old school arcade consoles? We'd love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on this. I have a memory. I'll have to prove it to myself, but I remember finishing this game, like going through all the sequences and stages and levels, and then finally like getting to some boss level because it's pretty fixed electronic display
So there
here.
was an end to the game.
There was an end to the game, yeah, and I got to it. I remember just again playing this like the summer. I think I was like 13 years old, and then
I
not.
believe there were 6 levels.
Oh, did you look it up for this? Or well,
Yeah.
yeah. And actually, you know what? I think you're right, Greg, because on the back of the box here, There you go. It's got phases. So hopefully this reads on camera, but it goes into phase
Pull
5.
back a little.
Let's see. How's that? Is that a little bit better?
No,
We're doing our
won't
best here,
work.
folks. But
Well, that's me just being an old man.
yeah, put on your glasses, Greg.
My
But
glasses are on.
there were like 5 phases to this game, and I remember getting through all 5 and just being like so psyched at the end of it. Big
And
sense
I'm
of
also
accomplishment.
drinking my cherry blossom green tea.
Yeah.
Well,
So, well, cheers. I know you're feeling a little under the weather. This is not green tea. This is something else. But we are casual collectors in cocktails, by the way. But yeah, just a cool piece of nostalgia and a fun game. And I'm so psyched that it works, because again, shame on me for not testing it earlier. I was kind of saving the moment for our show and for our audience and viewers out there. But this is Astro Command by RadioShack.
it froze there for a bit, Jim. I don't know if your drink came through, and
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Great. Yeah, I was saying this is Astro Command, and I want to say this was like the early to mid '80s. I don't know if you're
1982, my friend.
82. Greg, our producer, did his research. 1982.
And it was
So,
produced through 1987.
oh, okay. Yeah, I want to say I got it more in like the 1982 and maybe 1983. I remember saving up for this. I remember seeing it at Radio Shack and saying, that looks so cool. I want this in my house. Now, I did have an Atari 2600 at the time, but I just thought that this game really stood out. It could play in my own room without the television set and everything. It's all in one.
How was the battery life? I can
God,
imagine popping in 4C batteries every so often. I know back then it seemed like those toys drained battery life.
you know what I did when I was a kid? I totally forgot about this until you mentioned it. But I was kind of a geek back then. I said, ooh, I don't have to buy batteries if I get the electrical adapter. So I ended up getting a DC adapter for this. I remember, going into Radio Shack and consulting with, one of the techs there and going, you don't have to keep putting batteries in this thing. If you buy this extra 9-volt or 6-volt adapter, these are 1.5 times 4 or 6. Seems odd. But I think it was a 6-volt adapter and popping that in there and then not having to buy batteries anymore. But I have it in batteries in this occasion. But yeah, to all you kind of like, collectors out there, let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. Later, Greg.
Later, Jim.